All right. What's up? What's up? This is Next Level Gaming Podcast. My name is Gats. I'm your host, and I got Brant Blundums here with me. Hey, Blundums, how you been doing, dude?
Good. How you doing? How you been, man?
Doing good, man. Just chilling and yeah, just playing some games. Got a lot of gaming news this week, quite a bit actually. So got a lot to go over, but yeah, man. What you been playing this week?
So I've actually been like reliving my childhood, and I've been doing a lot of emulators. So I've been playing Ocarina of Time all week and a little bit of Call of Duty mixes.
Oh, bro, how's that treating you? How's the emulation?
Bro, first off, it was never meant to be played with an Xbox controller. That is one of the biggest challenges of this emulation. The second one is I feel like I must have been way smarter as a kid because Zelda is extremely difficult as an adult. And when I was a kid, we didn't have YouTube where I could just watch a walkthrough or something like that. I had to figure that shit out.
Oh yeah, no, I feel you, dude. I feel you. That's tight. Is that the only simulation you've been doing as far as playing old school games?
I've been doing that and Mario 64.
Oh yeah, you can't beat some Mario, dude. That's always nice to play. Catch up on that. That's what's
What do
up,
you?
though.
What about you? What have you been up to this week?
Dude, I just been playing. Oh, I actually just bought God of War. I bought it last night, and I started putting in some time on it, and I just I'm ashamed that I waited so long to try it out because it's truly an amazing game, dude. It's amazing. The story so far, I'm not too far in. No spoilers. I'm sure everybody's played it already, but I've fought the first dude, the guy that you break his neck. I can't remember his name, but it's the guy that comes knocking on your door.
Boulder.
Yeah, dude, that guy's legit. He's tight. I like him a lot. He's a cool character. But yeah, I got through him and I probably got through another like 30, 40 minutes of gameplay. But yeah, man, that's as far as before that, I've been playing some Halo Wars 2, a little bit of that here and there, and some Call of Duty with you guys and a few other friends. So it's been a pretty busy week for me with a lot of work and stuff, but I always try to make some time for gaming. So yeah,
Yeah, of course.
yeah, that's basically what I've been doing this week. But yeah, man, there's a whole lot of gaming news that we need to go over here. So we'll go ahead and we'll hit our first topic here, which is going to be the PSVR2 actually, which actually is coming out on February 22nd. It's going to be coming out for $550. That's what it's going to be selling for. And that includes the PSVR 2 headset, the PSVR 2 Sense controllers, and some stereo headphones. So $550, man. It's quite a bit of money. What do you think about that price?
You know what? If they do it right, I think it's worth it because if you can have some of your PlayStation kids as a VR, the games you played now to your generation of childhood, if you can go back and play that firsthand like that, that's to me, you can't put a price on that.
Yeah, definitely, dude. Yeah. It's it's just to me, it's just a bit expensive, but at the same time, I can't. It's the technology and the type of technology they got to put in those headsets. It's not cheap, so I guess you got to be
No.
kind of an enthusiast to really justify the price. But at the same time, I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of interested in it. I don't.
Yeah, no, for sure. Because and I think there's a lot of controversy right now with like Meta and Facebook. So maybe if you don't like Meta and the Quest, this is your option to go to that.
Yeah. I mean, especially if you already own a PlayStation, because I mean, if you think about it, it does require a PS5. It's only available on PS5. You can't use it on a PC. So, if you have a PlayStation, then you have the extra 550 sitting in your pocket. You could throw the 550 at this headset and get yourself a really good VR experience. Because from what I heard, it's really good, and I've been watching reviews on it, and it's really
And
really good from what I heard. So it's
yeah, and Sony's good at releasing quality products anyways. Like,
exactly.
I feel like the Quest had to prove itself for years where this can drop because it's Sony and they already have a good name behind them. They're not like, "Oh, is it going to be worth it or is it that or that?" Like, no, it's Sony. You're getting a quality product.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they're gonna be speaking with their games on this one too, because I mean they got some of their first parties coming, like Horizon Zero Dawn. I know they got a Horizon Zero Dawn PSVR game that's being released on there, and it's supposed to be a full-fledged game, so like a full story, and you get to dive into the world of Horizon Zero Dawn. So That's I know that they have that game coming. The Gran Turismo racer, that's also gonna be used on that PSVR2. They made it to where you can play that in PSVR, so that's gonna be interesting. You know, just putting the headset on
Yeah.
and going at it in racers. I
And
heard
if
that's
I'm
really
right,
fun. So,
if
but I
I'm right,
mean,
it has 120 hertz, right, for its refresh rate.
yeah, it's got 120 hertz. It's an OLED display, so it's nice, dude. You're gonna get those very accurate colors, and it's gonna look nice and clear. And with the 120 hertz, you know, it's with I guess that paired with the it's supposed to be 4K or 8K, I think, per eye. You're supposed to be getting a lot of pixels per eye.
Yeah,
And it's
per
supposed
eye,
to,
per eye. Let that sink in.
yeah, dude. It's
I mean,
supposed
there's
to.
gaming monitors out there that's not even touching that people use daily.
Oh yeah, dude. Oh yeah. I mean, and I guess that's where, you know, the price of 550 starts coming in. But yeah, I mean, that should make it, because I get a lot of motion sickness. Like that's why I myself I haven't tried VR, but I heard that with the first PSVR there was that was one of the number one complaints, and they said that with this PSVR 2 that's one of the things they fixed. So they state that with the extra pixels and the high refresh rate, um, they're able to, you know, get rid of that for a lot of people. So yeah, it's really
Yeah,
interesting, dude. And I mean, they are coming out with a bundle too, which is the Horizon. Oh, it's called the Call of the Mountain bundle, which is the Horizon game that they're coming out with for the PSVR 2.
okay, yeah.
And that's supposed to be coming out at like 650, I think, $650.
The only
Um,
thing I don't know, think I would like about it is I believe I read it. You know, it's got vibration on the headset, and if it's anything like the Oculus, I don't know if I want my eyes to vibrate, like my skull, like that.
right. Yeah, I
You
mean,
know,
that could, depending on how they did it, I mean, I could see that costing a little bit of vibration on the screen, because I mean, you got that screen right on your face, so.
right? It's
Um,
like literally 2 inches away from your eyes. Like,
right. Yeah. But I mean, they're smart, so who knows how they did that. But like I said, I'm interested in myself, you know, trying it out in the future if I do get my hands on a PS5, because
well, that's its own issue. It's right there. It's like go find a PS5.
yeah, I mean, if you don't have one, like if you're a PS gamer, like a PC gamer like me and you, you
Yeah.
know, that means that we gotta drop, you know, the 500 on the PS5, and then having to drop another $500-$600 on the PSVR. So definitely adds up. It's definitely not for everybody. Do you
Yeah,
think
I
this is
definitely think.
my bad? No,
Sorry, go ahead, man.
No, you're good. Good.
I definitely think it could be kind of a drawback that it's not a standalone.
Yeah, I know, because I mean, they could have definitely reached more sales and a bigger audience if if you were able to use it on PC. Because if you think about it, VR is something that is very big on PC, like huge. So if you were able to use this headset on PC, it definitely bring more sales to them. And that actually leads me to the question I was going to ask you. Do you think this is going to sell good?
You know what? I don't think it will at first. I think it will sell, but it's going to take like another Christmas to come along for people to want to buy that. Like a lot of kids or even adults. Like, you know, you figure a lot of adults don't see that like extra spending money in America until like Christmas.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. And I guess they had 1 million in production. They're estimating to sell 1 million for sure. They had estimated it at 2 million, but I think they dropped production to 1 million just because of it only being available on PS5. Do you think it's something that if you're interested in, you'll be able to find in stores, or do you think it'll be pretty hard to find
No,
at
they can't
first?
even get the PS5 on shelves, let alone this.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be pretty interesting. But yeah, there's all types of PSVR games that I guess it's gonna be pretty well supported. So, um, yeah, it's definitely gonna be interesting to see how it does. But like I said,
Oh, most definitely.
I'm if they are able to make it work on the PC, I'd be all over it. But if not, you know, if I do get my hands on a PS5, I don't see why I wouldn't, you know, give this a try and experience it myself.
But like the way like just like excuse me for these hiccups. I'm not really sure where they're coming from, but it was a bad time. Um, no, I don't know. Like for me, like I look at it like, and just like the normal consumer is like I'm trying to save like, well, my truck's broke, or I'm trying to buy a house, or maybe I'd rather do something for summertime or vacation. Like, would I rather spend $500 on a PlayStation and then another $500 on their VR, or would I rather treat myself for $1,000 getaway? You know, so it's kind of
Oh
like,
yeah,
what do I give? Like, I already got a gaming system. Do I need
yeah,
another?
yeah. The price point is definitely, you know, it's definitely pretty high. And like you said, you could definitely for $1,000 you could treat yourself to many other things. That's a down payment for a car. Come on, like, it's
Yeah,
quite a bit of money, but yeah, I mean, they're from what they're saying, they're very they're dedicated to making sure this accessory is successful and that it does well. So we'll see if they support it very well, because I mean that's what it's going to come down to. It's support, making sure that there's games coming out, you know, like games come out for us on, you know, consoles and PC, you know, on monthly basis. You know, some triple A's. That's always going to be nice. I know that Horizon Zero Dawn and Gran Turismo are going to be two triple A IPs that are
yeah.
going to be able to be played on the VR2. But I
Do you
think
think
that,
this could have a chance to delay any process and new games? Like
well,
maybe Sony's trying to develop, you know, Game X, and now because of this, they're trying to maybe push a VR game, so they have to put the other one on hold.
yeah. I mean, it's definitely a good question, and you know, PlayStation has showed us and showed all their fan base that one thing they don't have is a drought on games, and you know who I'm talking about when I say a drought on games. So I think that they're gonna be okay. I know that they're getting a lot of third-party support when it comes to some of the VR games that are already out. One of them being I think it's called Half-Life Alyx or something like that. There's a few other games that are on PC that are being ported over the PSVR2. So, I mean, that'll help. But, you know, when it comes to having another device to have to make games on, you know, that's something that they end up having to take developers from other studios to work on games for this PSVR. So, you know, it's possible. It's possible that it might, you know, make it a longer progress when it comes to a longer process when it comes to releasing these games as quick as they do on PlayStation, but that's something that only the future will tell. So
Yeah, that's everything right now. I mean, who knows where the world's going to turn next?
yeah, and that actually leads me to another little add-on I had for this topic for under PlayStation, which was that Gran Turismo, the team behind Gran Turismo, who is leaded by, I don't want to butcher his name. It's Kazunori Yamuachi or something like that.
Yeah, no, you're already doing a better job than me, so I want to sweat it.
But he's the game creator of Gran Turismo, and he states that you know, they're putting a lot of work behind Gran Turismo to make sure it runs flawlessly on PSVR. But not only that, they said that they're already working on the next Gran Turismo project. So, have you tried Gran Turismo? I don't know if you have a PlayStation or not.
So I played it way back on like the PS2.
Yeah. Well, you know, the one that came out, it's been a few years since it came out. I think it was like 6-7 years since the last Gran Turismo that was released, I believe, on PS3, which was a complete disaster. It wasn't even, it didn't look good. But yeah, this one
It's
came
hard to
out
compete
recently.
with Forza.
Yeah, it really is. And it's funny that they announced that they're working on the next Gran Turismo project right after, you know, Forza Motorsport was just announced, which looked absolutely amazing. I don't know if you've seen the gameplay and the trailer on it. But
I have not.
yeah, it looks amazing, and yeah, I mean, he came out and he stated that they're working on the next project. So that'll be something interesting to see when that's going to be hitting the shelves, because, you know, if he's saying that they're barely starting nowadays, games take what, 5 to 6 years to, especially triple A's.
Easy.
Yeah, to be made. So, but yeah, I mean, they are working on a Gran Turismo movie. Sony is, so that's gonna be.
No, I think that'll sell more than the game.
You think so? Yeah, I mean, it's a interesting movie to make. I mean, when it comes to Gran Turismo, since it's a track racer, you know,
Yeah.
I wonder what they would be doing with that. But from what I've heard, they got some pretty big names on there. I think they got Orlando Bloom that's gonna be starring in
Really?
a yeah, he's gonna be starring in a movie. There's not much information on it yet. I don't believe they released a trailer on it or anything like that, but yeah, there's definitely a Gran Turismo movie coming out, which adds to the titles that Sony's made movies for and shows for. You know, one of the biggest ones being The Last of Us, and I don't know if you saw the Uncharted movie.
With Tom Holland, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Did you see that one or
I
no?
like him. I have not. I'm not a huge movie person. I got to
Yeah.
be like in the mood, you know.
Oh, I feel you. I feel you. Yeah, I heard it was all right, and I mean with the show The Last of Us being a huge success right now, it's getting a lot of views.
So
And
I know this isn't on the list of things to talk about, but here's something crazy. Just like playing a seed.
yeah,
How long do you think it'll take for game developers to switch gears and go from, like cutscenes to actual movies? Because I mean, we can only get so advanced on graphics, right? You can only make a human look like a human so much.
I'm sorry. Could you repeat the question, dude?
So like, have like you played through the new Call of Duty campaign at all?
Yeah, yeah,
And like, the graphics are phenomenal in those cutscenes, and
yeah.
so it makes me wonder. Like, obviously, like they're not going to let those developers peak, and only, like, oh, you're only going to do video games. Like, how long do you think before like Sony and Xbox or Microsoft start making their own movies out of games?
Well, Sony has an advantage because Sony has their movie business on the side. You know, it's a different part of their company. They actually
Right.
have a whole movie side to Sony, whereas that's where they have the advantage when it comes to Nintendo, who is working on the Mario movie, which is supposed to be a huge success. You know, Mario's a big name, so that itself helps it sell. But when it comes to Sony, I mean, Sony has the talent when it comes to, you know, having that part of their company that focuses on movies. And not only that, but the titles, the names that come with their titles, their triple A's, like The Last of Us. I know they're working on a God of War. Um, I
And
don't
I
know
know
if
for a
it's a
fact I'll watch that movie. Like,
yeah.
like I stated earlier, I'm not a big movie guy, but if they make a movie about a game I love, I will watch it.
Oh yeah, dude.
I might watch it multiple times.
Yeah, and I mean, like I said, those names help themselves. Everybody knows God of War. Everybody knows The Last of Us, and people that don't know about The Last of Us, once they watch the first episode and it was if I'm a fan of if they put the shows on HBO, they're gonna be a success, because
Yep.
HBO throws a lot of money at their films and their shows.
It'll sell itself.
Yeah, and they don't hold anything back. Like when it comes to like gore or whatever the game is about, like their whatever shows they release, they never hold back. They always go all out, and that's where like Microsoft tried it with the Halo show on Paramount. I think it's on Paramount, I believe. And that was a complete disaster. I mean, you could tell the difference when it comes to how much money Sony dropped and how much Microsoft dropped to, drop their shows. And
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, that's where the background that Sony has in films and comes in, and yeah, I mean, it shows. And I'm hoping that answers the question as far as, how I feel that,
Oh, most definitely. Yeah. I think you covered
they
it nicely.
yeah, they would all do when it comes to, turning their games into films and shows. But out of all of them, I mean, so far, I'm sure the Nintendo movie is going to be great, but so far, Sony has nothing to prove. They came out and shot at all cylinders. So
I agree.
yeah, but yeah,
You want to
man.
move on to your next topic, or?
Yeah, definitely. So there is my next topic here is going to be live service games being shut down. So you know that nowadays live service games are the next big thing. Starting with Fortnite, and I was actually playing a little bit of Apex today. But yeah, Apex and Warzone, all those there's plenty of them. I like to believe that any game that has a battle pass becomes a live service game, because you end up having to play it to complete that battle pass, and they drop continuous updates when it comes to monthly, every 2 months or whatever. But it's hard for for it to be successful. There's a lot of games and a lot of different studios and platforms that have tried it. You know, Xbox being one of them. When it comes to the Halo Infinite title that came out, and it was supposed to be a 10-year live service game, but you know, I'm sure everybody knows how hard of a time that game's having, and yeah, there's a lot of games that have been trying it, and there's some that are actually hitting the hay and being shut down. So one of them being Apex Legends on mobile. You know, we cover anything games, so we do have a few mobile games here that are going to be shut down. Like I said, one of them being Apex Legends mobile, which is going to be taken down on May 1st. Did you ever try Apex Legends mobile?
No, my phone never is. I don't keep up on phones, so I've never really thought like I'd be even competitive on my phone to play that game. So I never tried to, play past that. I figure I built my computer for that purpose.
Hell yeah. Yeah, it's yeah, I tried it. I actually played it with another one of our friends, Rambo. We threw a few we threw a few games down on it, and yeah, it wasn't bad. It was pretty fun. I mean, you could connect your controller to it. It had controller support. So you know, we paired our Xbox controllers. He has a PlayStation, so he paired his PlayStation controller, and we definitely went down on it, and yeah, and it wasn't too bad. You know, you can't compare it to the real thing, but it was definitely a cool idea, and it was all right to play. It wasn't bad at all. But yeah, I mean, it's gonna be getting shut down on May 1st, and you know, they had a season pass on there. They had skins and stuff that you could buy, so that means that everybody that bought skins and stuff, that bought the season pass, they're gonna lose it all. It's all being shut down. EA already came out and said that they're not gonna be doing any refunds or returning anybody's money. You know, whatever you put into the game is gone after May 1st. So you know, very anti-consumer. I don't believe, you know, that's how it should have been done, but yeah, I mean, it's tough.
Yeah, no, I agree. I don't think it's the way it should have been done, but at the same time, like, I necessarily don't feel bad for the consumers. Like for instance, I know when I buy Call of Duty, I have about a year for a new one comes out. So any money I put into that, I'm gonna leave behind.
Yeah, no, definitely. And one
It's
quick,
not an uncommon strategy or
yeah,
strategy for here. Like,
yeah, it isn't. I mean, it's something that can you know, you can make a lot of money in. And then quick, I'm gonna take a pause real quick. I'm gonna give Rambo a shout out. He's here in the chat. He stated that Sony started it all with Uncharted, Mortal Kombat, and he told me to tell you that Sony is definitely starting that process for sure. So he's a big believer in Sony and what they're coming out with. So shout out to Rambo.
yeah, I think they'll make more money off movies than games.
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe not off the bat, but over time.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the names, they've proven themselves when it comes to how pristine and prestige their games are when they are released. You know, a lot of the games nowadays come out broken, and theirs come out, you know, with something to prove, and you know, their movies and their shows seem to be doing the same thing. So
yeah.
But and then he also said Nintendo barely jumping on the bandwagon with Mario. Yeah, they are. But Mario, like I said, when it comes to big names, Mario is huge. You know, they've been around since the 90s, since the 80s.
Yeah, and they might as well draw on it. Like, I hate to say it, even if it's redundant. Like, you can make 1 million Mario games, but if you make $1 million on 1 million Mario games, boom, sign me up. I'll make the same thing every year, add some graphics to it, and make money. I won't think twice about it.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, honestly, I'm pretty excited to see that Mario movie. I know that my daughter is a huge Mario fan. I recently got rid of my Switch because I'm a believer that they have to release something new, so I got rid of it. Just because I pretty much made what I bought it for back when I sold it. But back when we had it, she had the Mario games, and man, she'd sit there and play those games for hours. She loves Mario, so I'm sure that movie's gonna do really good when it comes to you know, a lot of the young audience, and not even that, but even the older audience. You know, we all grew up playing Mario, and that's gonna be very exciting to see. So yeah, I think Nintendo is gonna do all right. I think they're gonna do good when it comes to that movie for sure.
Yeah, and kind of like you said, I know this wasn't really part of your topics that you want to talk about tonight.
Yeah, no, yeah. That's what we're here
my
for.
My girlfriend just bought a Switch, and I think that it's actually pretty cool. Like, I like the fact how versatile it is and how mobile it can be. But when we turned it on and we ran through the setup progress in the home screen, all I could think to myself was, wow, this is the Wii.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah, Nintendo did really good with that system overall, just making it a hybrid, being able to play it on TV and take it on the go. They're geniuses, you know. The fact that that
It's an all in
system's
one
been out for
console.
like 8 years, something like that. It's been out for a while, the Nintendo Switch, and they
I didn't
haven't had to
realize
keep
that.
up with
Wow.
Xbox and PlayStation. You know, the
They're
Xbox
still
released
selling
the
their games for
Xbox One,
60
and
bucks.
PlayStation released the PS4, and the Nintendo actually has hardware from back in the PS3 era. So, you know, it's sitting quite a bit behind, but they got big names and they know what they're doing. So they're geniuses. They're geniuses.
And like you said, and here's the thing, like if I have a kid, the first, well, like I'd say 1 through 12,
Yeah.
and you say, what do you want to play, Mario or Call of Duty? They're gonna pick Mario.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's just the art style and everything. Very colorful, very easy to get into. It's nothing that, you know, Call of Duty, you throw a 11-year-old, 10-year, even though, you know, they're keeping up with us nowadays, but you throw one of them on multiplayer, it's not easy, you know. Compared to Mario, you're just, you know, going through the levels, and you don't got much to worry about other than just having fun. So no stress for sure.
Yeah, and like you said, I don't know. I think the Switch overall is a very cool console,
Yeah.
and I kind of hate on Nintendo because I think that they do the bare minimum to skate by, and they're just running on their name.
Mm-hmm. They
But they
do.
definitely do.
But they know, but they're good. They're good at what they do. Nobody, they're who else is in the handheld market other than the Steam Deck, which is, you know, barely getting its paws on the market, but you know, they
It's
own
still
that
cheap.
market. They don't have much
It's still more
competition.
expensive than the Switch.
Yeah, yeah. $400, I believe, is what the Steam Deck starts at, and the Switch is. I mean, the OLED is $350, and then the normal Switch is $300. So it's definitely cheaper to get into, and you know, you send a parent to the store to go buy a system for their kids, and they see, you know, a $300 console compared to even the Xbox and the new PlayStation that are out right now, you know, hitting the 500s. Steam Deck
I haven't
isn't
even seen like a Steam Deck in store. Like, if you
they're
don't know what
not.
Steam is, you'll
Yeah,
have no
they're
idea
not.
what a Steam Deck is.
Yeah, you got to order it directly from Steam. So that's another advantage that Nintendo gets when it comes to, you know, having their device, their platform, all over the shelves, stores, and stuff. So, but
Which,
yeah,
you
man,
know, one
it's,
day there'll be competition, but I don't think it'll be anytime soon.
yeah.
I
I
think
mean,
I,
as long as
I
there's no
think that
competition, they don't have a reason to, you know, strive
worry
for
about it,
even better.
right? I mean, they
So
might release more models like, oh, here's faster RAM or faster processing,
yeah,
or blah blah blah, like the OLED, you know, like.
yeah, definitely. But yeah, man, there's going back to the topic here. There's a couple other games that were being canceled. So yeah, there was the Battlefield mobile development, which EA was working on. They had another Apex style title that was coming out to mobiles, which is the Battlefield franchise, which is actually having a lot of issues. So, you know, Battlefield 2042 came out half baked and less than half baked, dude. That game is broken, and I feel that definitely handicapped the development of this game, because, you know, if that title was doing great, I'm sure you'd be able to release a mobile Battlefield and it'd do amazing. But with the fire that game has been under for the last, you know, few months, it's definitely something that I believe affected the projects, which, you know, maybe I wouldn't have played it a lot, but it's for somebody out there, and it's no longer coming out. So that's another live service game that went down the sewers.
Yeah.
So
Yep. And you know, I think we're going to see that more and more as time goes on.
oh yeah, it's a big risk you got to take when you hop into live service games, because there's a lot of games that are doing it very well. There's a lot of big competition, and I'm talking about juggernauts, because I'm talking about the Fortnites, the Call of Duty War Zones, the Apexes, which are already established names and established franchises when it comes to doing the live service strategy. So it definitely doesn't leave much room for a new game to come out here. If you play a live service game, the way that they run and that they're able to be successful is that they release a lot of new content on the regular, which means that if they get that consumer on that game, that consumer isn't going to want to go anywhere else, because they're having to keep up with the new seasons, the new battle passes, the new skins. You drop money on skins, you best believe you're going to be using that skin and playing the game, so that's another,
right, because you spend money on it.
yeah, it makes it harder for a new game to come out, live service strategy, and take you away from something that you already been putting a lot of money into and stuff. So there's a lot of money to be made in it, but it's not easy to perfect when it comes to that strategy. So
Yeah, but if you're making money on it, they're not going to perfect it. If they're making the revenue, they're going to meet bare minimum. They're not going to try to put more money into it to lose money.
Oh yeah, definitely. I got Rambo here saying Zelda runs Mario for their money, though. Even Mario has branched out to racing, button smashing, fighting, playstyles based on the system. Only Zelda games appeal more to the older gens. So, that's something that we were just talking about before we started the show. You said you've been playing some old school Zelda, right? Or Link?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Zelda, this is definitely a big name, and that's something that Nintendo definitely has advantage of when it comes to other audiences, consoles, and
Nintendo will always be there. I don't think it'll be a competitor, but it'll always be there.
Yeah. Man, we gotta have Rambo in the podcast one of these days. He definitely has a lot.
Yeah, he's got more to say than I do.
Yeah,
he's crushing it.
Definitely, very interesting stuff he's talking about here. But yeah, there's another live service game that came out. It was pretty big at first. I don't know if you heard about it. Knockout City.
Yeah,
Knockout City. It ran for 9 seasons, so it's been out for 9 seasons. On June 6th, the servers for the Dodgeball Battle Royale game will be shut down. So that's another game that's hitting the sewers. Unfortunately, I heard it was really fun. I was gonna get it, but when that game came out, like I said, it adds to my reasoning when it comes to live service games. I was stuck on Apex, so I didn't really give it a shot. But I had a lot of my friends. My brother was actually telling me to try it out. He said he was a big fan of it. But yeah, it's also going out. And the cool thing about Knockout City, though, it looks like the developers, which is Villain Studios, will release a free version of the game for Windows PCs that lets players host their own servers. So they
nice.
they'll be able to continue playing. If I'm sure they got a fan base out there. That's the only reason they do that. But they're already doing a better job than EA is. Like I said, it's being very anti-consumer, because they're at least gonna give people the options to keep playing the game and be able to throw down on there. So that's that's pretty cool.
That is cool. I agree, but like with just like. Oh, and I know I always bring this up, but like the economical standpoint, like maybe EA doesn't have that money to give back. Maybe EA is just trying to break even so they can drop some good games next year, and they have to do what they're doing.
Oh, yeah.
Or maybe they're being greedy.
Yeah, I mean EA. Yeah, I mean they're known for releasing the same old Madden, 2K,
NBA, yeah,
FIFA. It's always the same thing. Yes, with a different skin, and same thing, dude. It's an updated roster. They could easily make a FIFA or a sports game and just update the roster every year, but they make more money out of selling you a brand new game. And I feel like they've always been anti-consumer, so I can't say I'm surprised when it comes to the practices they have when it comes to their titles and the way they do things. They make good games, don't get me wrong, but they've proven to be anti-consumer multiple times.
Oh yeah, I definitely agree. Multiple times. Yeah, because like you said, why couldn't you just buy a battle pass, quote unquote, for in 2K, and now you get the new rosters.
Oh yeah.
Cause all you need is a skin.
They're
And
smart,
that's all it
dude.
is.
They're smart because I know that FIFA was taking the rights away from EA to be able to use their, their. I don't know where that went. I got to look more into it, but I know that they were gonna take away the rights of FIFA to, since they weren't really changing up the game and stuff. They were gonna find a different studio to make their game, the game for them and be able to use their names, like their soccer player names and stuff. And that's something that EA was having to go back and forth with them about. So it's it's something that they're starting to catch up with, and something that they could potentially lose in the future. But
Yeah, it
Hey,
looks like
sorry, I
Sutter
got
just
my
joined
times
us.
mixed up.
Hey,
Yeah, I got my
what's up,
times
son?
mixed up.
how's it going, Saturn? Thanks for coming in, dude. I know that it's we all got stuff to do. We all got things going on in our life, but it's nice that you were able to make it. You wanna go
Yeah.
ahead and introduce yourself real quick?
What's up? I'm Sudden. I stream on Twitch. I also post YouTube videos and TikToks at It's Me Sudden. So,
Oh yeah,
Hey.
oh yeah, check them out, check them out.
yeah, sorry, I lost track of time. I thought it was, for some reason, I thought it started at 9 my time, but I had it mixed up.
It's all good, dude. It's all good. We've been having a pretty good conversation here with Blondums, definitely. Very knowledgeable
Oh, yeah.
guy. So, and we got Rambo on the chat too, keeping up with us. So, having a pretty
Hell
good
yeah.
conversation here. Definitely a lot of news to go over here when it comes to gaming. We're actually on the live service games that are being shut down here recently that were announced. Apex Legends mobile being one of them. There was a Battlefield mobile game that was coming out that was shut
Mhm.
down, and then we got to Knockout City. Did you ever hear about Knockout City?
No.
Knockout City
Who
was a
was
dodgeball battle royale, really big on Steam. And I think I don't know if it was on Epic. I believe it was on Epic too, but it was a battle royale dodgeball style game, which is now hitting the sewers on, I believe, on June 6th. On June 6th, they're gonna be closing the servers, but yeah,
Damn.
we got sidetracked into EA being anti-consumer because EA isn't gonna be doing any refunds to anybody that dropped, I'm sure quite a bit of money, because I've dropped a lot of money on Apex Legends skins, but the mobile game, they had a season pass and they had skins and stuff, so people that purchase skins
And they're
all
not
that
giving
stuff,
refunds?
no refunds. May 1st, that game gets shut down, and everything that was any content you bought or anything like that is gonna be lost. So
Yeah, that's bullshit.
yeah, so yeah, I mean, that's another title that's gonna be getting shut down. But there's another one. I know that we've already went over three different titles here, but there's Crossfire X, which actually came out on Xbox. It was an Xbox version of it was a popular Korean style game. It was a first-person shooter, which came out on Xbox. It actually did pretty poor when it came out. I believe it got a Metacritic score of 38, so it got review bombed. It got destroyed. I guess it played very poorly, but yeah, I mean, that
Yeah.
game is also going to be getting closed on May 18th, so it looks like the players will be able to but they are going to be able to, they're going to be doing refunds for any content that was purchased within the last 2 weeks before February 3rd, so anybody
Okay.
that recently got into the game, they'll be able to get their money back for anything they purchased. But anybody that supported the game from day one, which I believe this game came out like a year ago, everything's going to be going out the window too. So that's another game that didn't make it in the live service business here. So how do you
Yeah.
feel about that, Sudden? You think how do you feel about live service games? Are you a fan of them?
Not too much. I'm a first person shooter
Yeah.
kind of guy.
Hey,
I'll play some third person shooters as well, but I'm really into the shooters for the most part.
you're a big Call of Duty fan, right?
Yeah,
That's another live
I love
service
Call of
game.
Duty. I love Assassin's Creed,
Yeah.
but Call of Duty is where I've always been.
Yeah, no, definitely. How do you feel? I don't know if I asked you yet, Blossom, but how do you feel about live service games? Dude?
You know what? I think I don't know how I think. Like, I think you're always gonna have your fan base, and as long as you have that, you know, like the ins and outs of people that don't really matter. You know, like just like Sutton said, he's always played Call of Duty. It's always gonna be Call of Duty, and you're just gonna get that support every year.
Yeah.
Granted, I mean, you're gonna have them fallouts or like maybe someone just had a kid or they're moving or times are tough or blah 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 blah, but that's not everybody in your fan base.
Yeah, yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah.
And you know, when it comes to me, I like live service games. You know, if it's done well, because you know, I'm a big Apex fan. Put countless of hours into that game, and you know, they do it well. Like I said, if they do it well and they know what they're doing, they cater to their fan base, drop daily content, you know, new content all the time. It's something that I can support. You know, I'll throw my money at them, but yeah, I got Rambo here saying that or asking if they're completely getting shut down. Yeah, most of this titles that we went over are getting shut down. I believe Knockout City is the only one that's gonna have that the studio stated that they're gonna release a free version for Windows PCs that lets the player host their own servers to continue playing if they want. But other than that, Apex is being taken off the store. Battlefield never hit the store, and then Crossfire, I believe, is going to be taken down from the store since it's a live service game. So it relies on being online. Once it's canceled and it's no longer supported, it's no longer going to be on the store. So hope that answers your question. But yeah, a little bit of additional news I had here. Kind of concerning this topic. Did you guys ever play Back 4 Blood?
Yes.
I have not.
Yeah. All right. Well,
I played a little bit of it, not too much.
how'd you feel about it?
I enjoyed it. I did and have a little bit of fun on it. It was pretty fun.
Did you think it compared to the great name that The Last of Us, or not The Last of Us, Left 4 Dead was?
Left 4 Dead. I don't know really. I didn't play it enough to have that opinion on it. I played it enough. I enjoyed it a little bit. Played maybe 2 missions, but then my Xbox Game Pass ran out. And I didn't feel like paying.
Oh yeah.
To
Definitely.
get it again.
yeah. I played it quite a bit. I put at least like 4 hours into the game. I played it with some friends. And to me, if you ask me, it definitely didn't live up to the name. It was they had a different style of doing it. It wasn't, you know, the Left 4 Dead style that they had. The strategy that they used for that game. They had cards and all types of weird stuff on Back 4 Blood to be able to get different abilities and stuff. I was just not a big fan of it, but the reason I bring that
I
up,
did enjoy watching people play the multiplayer every once in a while.
yeah,
That was about it.
and that's actually why I was excited for the game the day before, which we're actually going to talk about here in a little bit. But yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of, you know, those fast moving zombies, you know, having to mow down a horde of zombies.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I was very excited, and that's something that Back 4 Blood kind of didn't do very well. I mean, there was hordes of zombies, but it wasn't as hectic and as crazy as this Left 4 Dead. But yeah, I mean, the reason I brought up the title is because Turtle Rock Studios, which is the studio that worked on Back 4 Blood, has announced that they're done making content for the game. So they're basically done supporting it. Yeah.
Already?
Yeah. It hasn't been out very long. I mean, that's a game that definitely had a lot of life left into it, but I'm sure that there's not many people playing it anymore. So
Yeah.
they don't feel that they can make money out of it.
To be honest, that was the type of game you get on for a little bit. You play the missions and then you're done, really.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. It was. There's a few game modes, but there weren't, you know, addicting or anything that could definitely get you.
Yeah, it was nothing that was gonna be big, you know.
All right, my bad. My headset was dying. What was that, dude?
I said it was nothing that's gonna be having people's attention for a long time.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, definitely.
It was fun to hop on, play a couple things with your friends, and that was it.
Yeah.
It could have been a lot more than it was, but they didn't really do anything with it.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give them props. The thing that they are doing is that they are gonna keep it operational. So I mean, the game will be playable. It's gonna stay online if you still want to play it. It's gonna be there. They're just
Well, yeah,
don't expect
it's not
any
gonna
more new
fully shut
content.
down.
Yeah, they just don't expect new
Yeah,
content.
it's just yeah.
It's through its life cycle. So, but they did announce that they are.
I'm really surprised they didn't let that go longer though, because they could have if they would have done more content.
Yeah.
That game could still be big today, to be honest. To be
Dude, it had
completely honest,
potential,
they
bro. It had a
kept
lot of
letting out
potential.
DLCs and stuff like that for the
Yeah.
game, and they were big enough, it would have been good. But from what I heard from some people that actually played through all the missions and stuff, they said it felt a lot of rinse and repeat. You know?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I feel like the core of the game was just. It wasn't, you know, or I don't know. It just wasn't what it could have been. And that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just hurt it in the long run. Obviously.
They
It
just kind of
caught up
made
and-
the same maps and made them look different, from what I heard.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey guys, not to interrupt, but I got a hard stopping point. I gotta go knock a couple things out for the end of the night.
Oh, it's
So
all
thanks
good.
for having me, and I enjoyed our conversations. And if you guys want to, I can probably drop some messages throughout the night, but I have to have a hard stop on the voice chat.
Oh, it's all good, Bonhams. I
Okay.
definitely appreciate you joining us. It's always great to have you here on the podcast with us, and you know, we look forward to hopefully getting you on here next week. So, again, thank you
Yeah,
for
of
joining
course. Yeah, it
us,
was great
and
to be here.
appreciate your opinion.
Yeah, thanks guys. Have a good one.
Yeah, dude. Have a good night.
You too.
Bye.
Bye
Bye.
bye.
I don't know what I just clicked on.
Yeah, dude. But yeah, Turtle Rock Studios, which is the studio behind Back for Blood, did say that they were gonna stop supporting it because they're now ready to move forward with their next project, which has yet to be announced. So we don't know much about it, but you know, the game it looked nice, and it was that's one of the things is the visuals, and I mean, it didn't have issues when it came to it had bugs, but it wasn't game-breaking bugs. So they came out with a good, solid game that worked the way it was supposed to work. But you know, that's something that they've proven themselves they can do, and you know, I'm pretty excited to see what they come out with next. So they are working on their next project. So.
Hell
But
yeah.
but our next.
At least they're working on something new. Like,
Yeah.
hopefully, what they're working on ends up being what Back for Blood could have been.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they could come out with the Black Blood too and fix the things that people didn't like, and if they do, I'd be right behind.
To be
it,
honest, if they do come out with something Back for Blood 2, I don't think it's gonna be. People are gonna be excited to buy it because
Yeah, I mean, they definitely got to prove themselves because
Yeah.
the reason that a lot of people jumped on it and a lot of people were excited about it was because Left 4
it
Dead
had Left 4 Dead's name on it.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the whole
the
reason.
background. So, you know, that's something that helped them and killed them at the same time because they had a lot to live up to. So, and when they came
People
out
had
short,
very high hopes for
Yeah.
him.
high expectations. That's something that'll, you know, it could definitely help you a lot, or it could hurt you a lot. And, you know, when it came to
Yeah.
them, it definitely hurt them a lot. So yeah. Next topic here are delays. Don't you just love that word?
Oh yeah, it's the best thing whenever you're a gamer.
Well, we're
That's the
definitely
best
getting
word you
more,
can hear.
dude. We're getting more of that word.
Yep.
Left and right. So The
I'm
Last of
so
Us.
excited.
Yeah, dude. The Last of Us remake, which I'm the biggest fan of. I love that game. I played it back on PS3 back in 2013, I believe it came out. And ever since they remade it, I've been dying to, you know, play it on PC because, you know, PC Master Race, we get to play everything at its best quality. So I'm very excited to play that remake, which was announced by Sony a few months back, and it has been delayed, which, like I said, I'm not a fan of delays, but I'd rather a game be delayed and come out looking good than it not be delayed and come out broken and just, you know, scare me
Yeah.
away. So the good thing is that it was only delayed till the end of the month. So
Okay,
it was
that's
supposed
not
to
too
come
bad.
out. Yeah, it was supposed to come out at the beginning of March, and it's now going to be coming out at the end of March.
So they probably have a bunch of bugs that they haven't been
Yeah.
able to get to yet, and that's probably what they're doing. They're trying to iron them out, you know,
Yeah, I
get
mean,
everything nice and
especially with the
straight.
show that's out right now. You know, if they The show is, I believe.
There's a lot of hype around him right now.
Oh yeah, dude. It boosted their Last of Us sales 400,000 or something like that. It boosted their sales for the game by a lot, because a lot of people that are loving the show, a lot of them could be casuals,
go on and play it.
that haven't played it yet, are playing it on PS5 now, since it's on PS5. But there's a lot of fan base on PC side, so I'm sure they definitely want to make sure that it comes out nice and polished and has no issues. So it sucks, but it's cool with me. One month ain't, or a couple weeks, 3 weeks ain't gonna hurt. So I'm cool with it. That's a good delay. I'm all right with that one.
Coming out March 28th. That's whenever. It's coming out right now.
Yeah, that's here soon. Another delay.
And it's part 1, so they're coming out with more now that I'm looking at it. They're gonna end up coming out with even more. That's gonna be interesting.
Yep, this is part 1, and then part 2 is already on PS5. That hasn't been announced coming to PC yet, but I haven't played it, so no spoilers. We're not gonna talk about that game on this podcast until I'm able to play it, because huge fan, dude. Can't wait. But yeah, I mean, another game that's hitting the delays is Star Wars Jedi Survivor, which has also been pushed back to March from March to April 28th. So it's about a month, also a little bit more than a month, I believe. I'm sure it's just some extra polishing. It's when games are pushed away like a month or two, I don't feel like it's that big of a red flag, just because it's not.
No, it's usually they just need to do some quick and easy fixes.
Yeah. Hopefully
I'm looking forward to this game, though. I really want to get it. I love playing Star Wars games.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, it's gonna be very interesting. I hope that I played the first one. I actually bought it recently too. I haven't gotten through the whole thing. I probably put like 3 hours into it. But it's good. The first one is good. It's very, very fun. It feels a lot like Dark Souls, like a lot of dodging, parry, and just gotta be smart with how you play the game and when you strike and stuff. But I feel like in the first Star Wars Jedi game, he's very underpowered. I know that the story starts with him being like a rookie Jedi. He didn't get to train with the bigger Jedis because he's one of the last Jedis. So he basically taught himself, and there's a lot of things that he's learning. Give me just 1 second.
Yeah.
All right, my bad. Got a 3-year-old here screaming in my ear, but in the first game, he's just very underpowered, and I'm hoping that on the second game, because I mean he'd be struggling with stormtroopers, dude. A Jedi doesn't struggle with stormtroopers. Like in that game, you end up having to hit them 5-6 times to take them down. When you're a Jedi, you should be able to mow through these enemies when it comes to stormtroopers and stuff like that.
100%.
Yeah, so I'm hoping that in the second one,
just wiping the floor with them.
Yeah, and the second one, it just builds up from where like I said, I haven't finished the first one, but I put quite a bit of time into it, and I'm just hoping that he keeps that knowledge that he's building up from the first one, and the second one he's able to just whip through those enemies and just be the badass monster that he is. Dude, he's a Jedi, so very excited for it. So yeah, that didn't get pushed very, very much, but it definitely got pushed back a little bit here. So all right, and then I mean, those are titles we're going to be joining the day before. A few other games that were delayed, like Avatar, Skull and Bones, and there's been a lot of games that were delayed. But one thing was another cool thing is that the day before, that has been under a lot of fire. That we talked about it last podcast, and how sketchy and shady they were being. They actually recently released a 10-minute gameplay trailer, which I actually didn't have time to check out before this, but there is a trailer. They released it and they said the game is looking good, and there's nothing to worry about. They definitely saw a lot of people talking about it, so they dropped something that maybe we could check out.
I'll believe it
notes
when
and
I see
items.
that game release.
Yeah, right, right, yeah. It's still sketch, you know. This definitely doesn't justify everything that they've made the fan base and the followers go through, but yeah, that's I guess they dropped a 10-minute gameplay trailer, so I'll have to check that out, and we'll definitely talk about it next week. But now we move on to rumors. So there is a rumor that Xbox, Nintendo, and Sony are all going to be skipping out on EA, or on, not EA, on E3 2023. So it looks like they're not going to be showing up. They're not going to be showing off any games or anything that they're working on. Like, you know, it's kind of weird just because E3 is, you know, that's, I remember, you know, growing up and watching E3 and seeing everything that was coming out. You know, Xbox did announce their last console, the Xbox One. They announced it at E3, and you know, we've seen a lot of big titles get announced from all these platforms on E3 in the past. So that's something that there's a rumor that they're not going to be there. What do you feel about that?
That doesn't really surprise me because I feel like a lot of these things are like becoming less and less really cared about, to be honest, with big companies. They'd rather just release a video on YouTube saying what they're doing.
Yeah, I mean, that's what Nintendo's
So,
been doing. I feel
it doesn't
like they started
really
it, so.
Yeah, it doesn't really surprise me
Yeah, no, definitely.
that people that they're stopping going to these conventions, because it's been happening for the last couple years with companies slowly doing less and less of that.
Yeah.
Going to them less and less.
And you know why, right? You know that E3 charges them millions of dollars just to show their game at their show. You know that, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I mean that's
insane money.
Yeah, I mean Nintendo.
Whenever they can just post a video on YouTube and get the same response.
Exactly, exactly. And I mean Nintendo was the
it.
first one to step away from it with their Nintendo Directs, which they've been doing the last few years. And then Sony followed, and Xbox was the last one, because they were actually the last one still, you know, attending those shows and showing off stuff. Like I said, Xbox actually showed off their last console. It was released on an E3 show. So yeah, I'm not too surprised about it. It kind of sucks just because, you know, I've never gone to an E3 show, but when I do end up going to one, I want to make sure that it's as great as it used to be. But yeah, I mean, Xbox just had their developer, what was it, the Microsoft Xbox developer or something?
Yeah, it was the
yeah, so they just had theirs. So I mean, and it was good. I mean, we saw it. The way they showed it was good. The games wasn't too big of a fan of, but the way that they showed their games and the whole show, 45 minutes, it was mostly gameplay until the end, which they had a ESO thing for that fan base at the end, where they talked a lot about that game, went into detail. But other than that, the whole game was just game after game after game, not too much gibberish or anything like that. It was a pretty good overall show. So you know, they seem to have it down, and they seem to want to do it that way going forward. So I'm cool with that. You know, if Xbox wants to do their own show, they definitely know what they're doing, and they did a good job with their recent show here last month. So and then 100%. Sony, you know, Sony comes out firing at all cylinders. They always give out a good show. They bring great games, great AAAs. So I'm not worried about them. And then, you know, Nintendo, you know, is on their own.
Nintendo's Nintendo.
Yeah, they don't have competition, and they always do a great show. Their fan base love the games. They love their shows, so nothing to worry about there.
I think my favorite release show thing that they do is Call of Duty. How they do upcoming stuff for the new CODs and stuff every year. I do love that.
I could actually see I could see the next Call of Duty being announced at E3. I mean, E3 is still going to be happening. It's just basically going to be you know, studios that want to show their games there. I'm sure Call of Duty is probably the next Call of Duty is probably going to be showed on there.
Nah, Call of Duty usually just, I know they've been doing just like their own live stream thing.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
They haven't been announcing them on those anymore.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, it definitely hurts them a little bit when it comes to E3 because, you know, those are three big platforms that are stepping away and doing their own thing. So, but at the
Yeah.
same time, it's not the best practice when you're charging these platforms millions of dollars just to show a game when, you know, it brings money to your pockets too. But I mean, yeah, this is a rumor that's going around and that it's not really very questionable. So definitely see it happening. And that actually brings me to my next subject here, which is there's a rumor that Nintendo Direct could actually be happening next week. So Nintendo may be hosting its first Nintendo Direct event of 2023 as early as next week, according to the latest rumors. Nintendo, traditionally hosted a Nintendo Direct presentation in February, so they've done this, you know, in the past. And as you know, we're in February now, so oftentimes using the moment to shine a light of their big Nintendo Switch games that are going to be releasing first half of the year. Nothing official has been announced at the time of this writing, but it would be strange for Nintendo to break this pattern, which is that, you know, they usually have a show in February. So this is according to an article that was from Game Rant. So it's something that maybe we could be looking forward to some new Nintendo games being announced next week. I know that you have a Switch, so you know, you keep up with them and you play their games, so that's something that you might want to, you know, keep a close eye, and maybe you'll see something that you've been waiting for or something that you're looking forward to seeing. So
Hell yeah.
all right, and then another rumor is that Coalition has canceled 2 games that were announced. Coalition is actually the studio that's been working on the past Gears of War, and is currently actually working on Gears of War 6. So the Xbox studio, the Coalition, has reportedly canceled 2 unannounced games in the order to focus solely on the next project, which is Gears of War 6. That's according to Giant Bomb's Jeff Grubb. He's very trustworthy. Jeff Grubb is a big name out here. So he's stating that there's two games that were canceled by them to be able to focus on the bigger picture here, which seems to be Gears of War 6. Speaking on his game, and he spoke about it in the Mass Morning Show, so he seems to be very, very sure that that's what's happening there. So he claims that this is a knock from the recent layoffs on Microsoft. So he's stating that because of the layoffs, that's why they had to cancel those two titles, and it kind of became a domino effect. So the Coalition has been in charge of Gears of War franchise since Microsoft purchased the IP from Epic Games, because I don't know if you know, but Epic Games actually owned Gears of War. And Microsoft, they made a game for Microsoft on the Xbox, and Microsoft fell in love with this, so they purchased it, and since then Coalition has been working on the Gears of War. So yeah, man, I mean, how do you feel about that? Do you think you know, as far as them canceling the projects to work on Gears 6?
I mean, it's understandable. If it was really because of the layoffs, that's completely understandable. There's nothing that anybody could really do about it. They didn't have enough people working on it, so they had to cancel it.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
But Gears of War 6...
You think it's going to be big?
I believe it was the last one they let out that was a big disappointment, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. It definitely didn't get the I mean, it didn't sell as well. I mean, honestly, since Gears of War 3, who was I got to look it up now real quick before I get into it, but Gears of War 3 was the last good Gears of War. Gears of War.
Yeah, but I know there was a lot of hype around Gears of War 5 leading up to it, and then it just, people did not like it at all.
Yeah, because the guy that was in charge of the story on the games, he stepped away. I can't think of his name, but he stepped away after Gears of War 3, and then after that, Gears of War 4 and 5 was a different team that worked on it. So that's why it hasn't been the same since then. And like you said, Gears of War 5 is definitely not one of the most popular ones, but it's gonna be interesting. They might be able to turn around for Gears of War 6, but
to be honest, if it doesn't get knocked out the park, I think they should really just leave Gears of War alone.
Yeah,
to be
yeah.
honest,
Yeah, I mean, it
if it's
definitely
not a
needs
knockout
a
the
break,
park,
dude. It needs a break. They've been
because I could guarantee if
recycling
this one's
these
a
titles
flop,
lot. It's gonna hurt them
if
a
this
lot.
one's a flop, nobody's gonna buy him again.
It's just like Halo, dude. Halo needs a break too. And Gears of
Yeah.
War, it's
I think what's going to end up happening is that they're not going to get much sales leading up to the game at all. And people's going to wait for other people to like put up gameplay reviews and actual like walkthroughs of the game to see how they like it, and then they'll buy it if they like it.
Yeah.
Because
They definitely have
last
something to
two
prove.
was ass, that means this next one people's going to be very wary about it.
Yeah, oh, definitely. I agree with you 100%. So yeah, they definitely gotta come through on that title because it could be their last shot at being able to prove that Gears of War is not a dead franchise. So
Yeah.
I don't, I'm not. I'm
To be
excited
honest,
for
look,
Gears of
Call
War
of Duty
6,
for
but-
like, we all know I'm into Call of Duty. I've always been into Call of Duty. The last Call of Duty that I actually pre-ordered was Cold War, I believe. And now what I do is I wait for the game to release for like a couple days, see how people's reacting to it, see how I like it, and then I'll buy it if I like it.
Yeah. No, I mean that's how it should be. You know, they
Especially
should have
with
to,
Vanguard.
to earn your money. You shouldn't just have to go buy it because of the title. You should be able to say, you know, the last game was amazing, so you know this game should be amazing. Here's my money, but you know, that's something that they have to do and they have to prove. So I'm hoping that this next Gears of War, especially if they're canceling 2 whole other projects to be able to work on this. You know, according to Jeff,
You would
Grubb,
hope
it is
that
a
would be
rumor,
good, but it's depending on who they
it's
have working
trustworthy.
on it and
yeah,
how good they are with what
Yeah.
they do.
yeah. We'll
If
see how
they're
that
great,
hits.
then the game could come out amazing.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Let's just hope they didn't fire the wrong people. You know?
exactly. Yeah, because we still don't know. Microsoft, Xbox hasn't came out and told us or gave us any solidified, you know, information that, you know, this is what happened, this who got let go or anything like that yet. So again, we're just going off base rumors, but when it comes to this rumor, Jeff Grubb, he's a big name out here. He seems to always, you know, be right. So this is something that is very, very possible, and again, it's all I hope is that these studios and developers, you know, come through and bring the games that we love and that we grew up playing, and you know, keep them great. Definitely don't want another Halo, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, this brings us to our next and last topic here, which is actually going to be the Activision Blizzard lawsuit. So, have you been keeping up with how poor of a work environment Activision has?
I know that there was a bunch of stuff going around, but I have not kept up with it at all.
All right, well, let me fill you in real quick. So
Okay.
the CEO, who is Bobby Kotick, he's the big dog there at
Yep.
Activision Blizzard, and he has been under there's been a lot of complaints against them from all types of different things, from harassment. Too much to talk about, honestly. He's got a big record.
I know a bunch of the stuff that happened. It was harassment and just a bunch of other stuff, but I just didn't keep up with how the lawsuits were going.
Yeah,
I knew what they were about.
discrimination,
Yep.
all types of like pretty touchy stuff, and he's the CEO, so he's had nobody could touch him, you know. And there's been that's actually what led to Activision being sold, and you know, being interested in being sold and bought by Microsoft. So
Yep.
you know, that hurt their stocks. A lot of the lawsuits they were facing and stuff really hurt their stocks and brought down their stocks. And that's when Xbox took advantage, and you know, they didn't approach Activision. Activision actually approached them, and Xbox was like, you know, this is too good of a deal to not buy them right now, even for 60 something billion that they're buying them for. It's an amazing deal for them because their stocks, you know, hit an all-time low, and it was all because of these lawsuits. But Activision will pay a $35 million fine over its failures to maintain a proper workplace. disclosure controls and violations of whistleblower protections. The CEC, which is the Securities and Exchange Commission, announced Friday the CEC has been investigating Activision Blizzard over misconduct allegations for the past 15 months, and with this development marking the official conclusion of that probe. So it looks like the lawsuit is finally coming to an end. This lawsuit, even though it's only $35 million overall, when it comes to the stocks and all that stuff, it hurt them way more than just the $35 million. But you know, this was the slap on the hand that they got, was a $35 million fine for this lawsuit. It looks like the proceedings were started after the company's home state charged it with violations of the California Fair Employment Act and Housing Act in the summer of 2021. So this started back in 2021. According to the still pending complaint, the gaming giant failed to ensure proper employee protections against the workplace harassment and gender discrimination, which led to many women leaving the company, and the SEC sued the California's lawsuit against Activision Blizzard to launch its own investigation meant to determine whether the firm's handling of the situation constituted a breach of the investors. So overall, yeah, I mean, it's this is what has put Activision in the situation and that they're in right now, which is them being bought by Xbox. It's just this all led to it. Bobby Kotick, I believe that Microsoft is gonna, as soon as Microsoft buys the rights for Activision Blizzard, they're gonna get rid of him. He's the CEO. So, but the thing is that he's supposed to make, I don't know how many billions of dollars just for closing the deal. So he's getting what we like to call a golden parachute. Of being able to, you know, step down, but stepping down with a $1 billion deal that's gonna make him a billionaire. So you know, people in his position, like big people in power, like CEOs like him, even though they caused all these issues and they have, you know, they left the company with this bad of an image, they're stepping away with their pockets full. So it's you know, it's definitely, it raises some eyebrows, and definitely, you know, it's pretty crazy, dude. How do you feel about it? Son or Lucy? Sudden. Oh, it looks like I lost Sudden here. He might have dropped out. But yeah, I mean, yeah, this is definitely something crazy, guys. And, you know, it's like I said, golden parachute. Walks away and becomes rich as he does it, even though he was in charge of, you know, the company here that is being sued for all this stuff. It's not really gonna hurt him. So but yeah, I mean, overall, these are all the topics we had tonight, guys. There's a lot of gaming news that happened this week, and we're definitely gonna have a lot to go over next week. So I definitely appreciate everybody for coming through. Definitely gonna be playing some God of War, and I'm gonna be live streaming it. So I'm gonna be live streaming it on my Twitch, maybe on YouTube too. I'll probably be streaming it here on the podcast page, but definitely on Twitch, which you can find my channel at. It's Great Gats Gaming. So check me out. If you enjoyed the podcast tonight, guys, I would really appreciate a like. If you didn't like it, you know, even a dislike, you know, thumbs down, whatever you need to do, definitely go in the comments, let me know what you guys thought, any topics you guys that I might have missed that you guys would want to, you know, maybe talk about next week. I'm always happy to, you know, make the podcast better. So again, I appreciate everybody that was able to watch the podcast live, and anybody that didn't make it to watch it live and is gonna watch it later. Also appreciate you. Other than that, guys, my name is Gats, the host, and we'll be back next Friday. You guys have a great night, and again, I will be streaming God of War, so check me out on Twitch, Great Gats Gaming. Everybody have a great night. Simpson?
Oh, my fucking Wi-Fi went out, dude.
Oh, it's all good, dude. Yeah, I ended the podcast. It's still live, so if you want to go ahead and shout yourself out, if anybody's watching, you could go ahead and just let us know what you're going to be doing and your channel.
Well, I'm planning on streaming on Twitch some probably GTA roleplay soon. Hopefully this next week I'm gonna have a character set up and probably gonna play some GTA roleplay this next week. But y'all can catch me on Twitch at It's Me Sudden, ITZMESUDDEN.
Yeah,
Thank
check
y'all.
him out, guys. Very, very cool guy. Very, he'll definitely get you entertained. So check him out. Hit a follow on his Twitch, and again, you could catch me on God of War. You could catch him on some GTA, and yeah, we'll see you guys next week. Thank you for watching.
Much love.